You are now listening to Wolf Sports Network at the University of West Georgia in Carrollton, now on Odyssey Station.
Live from Carrollton, Georgia, this is Sports Pack.
West Georgia's go-to show for all things sports.
From the best interviews in college radio.
Hey, this is Coach Joel Taylor, head football coach here at the University of West Georgia.
Hey everybody, this is Jeff Bacon, Atlantic Sun Conference Commissioner.
To the hottest takes around.
I wholeheartedly believe that behind Sean Payton and a second-year Bo Nix, the Denver Broncos can dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs and be the AFC West champions.
I mean, plain and simple, the worst decision Kalen DeBoer has ever made is taking the head coaching position at Alabama.
We've got all you need and more right here on Sports Pack.
The Wolves play here.
What is up, everybody? And welcome to another fantastic Monday edition of Sports Pack. I'm your host, Richard Reed, joined today by Cadence Grievin.
Hello.
Jackson Schrader.
Howdy.
My guy, John Halley, behind the board.
What's going on?
My guy, Brandon Dyer, controlling the cameras with us behind the glass on the TriCaster. And a little bit later in the show, my dog, Keyshawn Ward, will be in here as well. This is our last Monday Sports Pack of the semester, so don't go anywhere. We have a jam-packed show, starting as always with our West Georgia Wolves. Then diving into what has been an insane college football weekend for so many reasons. It was rivalry week. The coaching carousel is on full display right now as well.
It's fired up.
The NFL has been insane, and the NBA season has continued to chug along as well, getting better and better every single day. So just as always, we have a jam-packed episode of Sports Pack for you with tons of stuff to talk about and nowhere near enough time to talk about it all. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it after I remind you all that in a recent survey, almost 53% of full-time college students, ages 18 to 22 drank alcohol in the past month. That is why Wolf Sports Network and Wolf Radio's Drink Responsibly campaign is here to remind you that there is no drinking under the age of 21, to never drink and drive, even if it's only one beer, and to add food and water when you drink so you don't end up texting your ex, which means know your limits. In 2023, the governor of Georgia's office stated 21% of adults have low literacy skills. The U.S. Department of Education reports that children with access to print reading materials have better literacy rates. That's exactly why Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network's ongoing book drive will provide a new or gently used book to every child at UWG's Pre-K Monthly. Give today by visiting thewolfuwg.com/book drive. That is thewolfuwg.com/book drive. Help us make a difference.
As Widener rolls to the right, he's got some time. Everybody's down at the end zone. He heaves it, and it is caught for a touchdown.
We are one. Go Wolves.
Indeed, we are, and our men's basketball team is currently sitting at 4-3 right now, with a date with the Troy Trojans tonight at 7 p.m. right after Sports Pack goes off. This has the potential to be an outstanding game. ESPN is giving Troy a 92% chance to win this game, but I don't think they're taking into account how talented our West Georgia Wolves team is. Yeah, we have 3 losses on our schedule right now, but 2 of those came in the last 5 games. One of them on the road at Georgia Tech, where we lost 82-66, and what was a very tight game until late in the second half. Then another one came on the road in LA versus UCLA in an 83-62 loss. But Schrader, every other team we've gone up against, we've had a great game against.
Yeah, I mean, this team's playing phenomenal basketball up until this point, and to be honest, it's not what I expected. I knew that I thought we were just going to be a middle-of-the-road kind of team, nothing special but nothing terrible, but these guys are balling. When they play teams at our level, they play really well, and they win, and even when they play teams that are above us, I mean, they play pretty darn good ball. I mean, we've played at least a close first half against every Power 6 team that there is. I don't know how many there are in college basketball.
Basketball, I think, is the even playing field.
Yeah, but I mean, it's been great to see. Go to the Coliseum. You're going to get a great game. It's not in the Coliseum, but go to Troy if you want to go on a road trip.
John?
I mean, the one thing I've seen here is just the transition from last year, just the way that these guys play. When, getting to call the game against Citadel, these guys are a lot sharper. I know there might be little things we got to work on, but it's early in the season. We got a whole lot of basketball left to play. over the next couple months. So when this comes later on and you look at this team, you're going to see a much better team, a more well-seasoned team, and they just know what they're doing. The big men aren't afraid to do anything down the paint. They'll get physical. We have guys who can shoot around the perimeter. You have guys coming off the bench, dropping 15, 20, whatever. You got multiple young cats coming in and taking over for this team, and it's a great thing to see, and I'm super excited.
And even like Richard, you mentioned earlier with like those power three, they have just been consistently like showing up, and even against, like you said, Schrader, with these big teams that we're playing against, we are still holding our own.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like everybody just underestimates us because we're so freshly D1 that everybody just kind of brushes us off. But like this year, I feel like we're going to be able to compete very, very well compared to last year, and maybe we'll get a glimpse of that D2 West Georgia basketball that
The fame that we had.
Yeah.
Exactly, and I think honestly, I think that starts tonight. Because like you said, like y'all said a second ago, we've been outclassed by a few of the schools that we've lost to, Georgia Tech, UCLA, Nebraska in our first game of the season. But I don't think Troy is that much ahead of us, if I'm being real here. We have the size to compete with just about anybody in the country. With Chime down low. And hold on. And with Chime and Javar Daniel down low, excuse me, I don't know why I just blanked on Javar's name like that. But we have the size down low, like John just alluded to. It's a block party every single time we step on the court. And then, like you just said, Cadence, the big three, led by Shelton Williams-Dryden, who's averaging 19 points and 10 rebounds. Yes, he's averaging a double-double a game. Josh Smith was our sixth man of the year at first, but now he's been starting our past two games, averaging over 15 points a game. And then Chaz Lulis, our starting point guard, who's averaging just over 11 points a game, but is lights out from three. He has been incredible, shooting at a very high clip. Josh Smith actually leads our team with 44% shooting from three, but Chaz Lulis is right there behind him with a high percentage as well. So behind that that big three and our two big men and Chime and Javar Daniel down low, I think this West Georgia Wolves team can compete against just about anybody we play against. We've shown night in and night out, and I really think we're going to put a lot of people, especially in the ASUN Conference, on notice tonight at 7 when we go to Alabama and take down the Troy Trojans. I really feel like this can be a big prove-it game for West Georgia, and I really think we get it done tonight. Moving forward to Wednesday, we have a game right here in the City of Dreams, Carrollton, Georgia, as our 3-2 women's West Georgia Wolves team will be here taking on UNC Wilmington in the Coliseum at 11 a.m. bright and early. We're expecting a pretty big crowd, believe it or not, because I'm hearing a lot of kids from local schools are taking a field trip to this game.
Hey.
And our athletic department tells me we're expecting over 1,500 students in the Coliseum for this game.
That's going to be loud.
Yeah, I wish I was there to see it. I got class at 10:30, and I can't miss this last week of classes. I got to be there for final exam review. But, John, this is going to be a big game for our girls, facing a 3-3 UNC Wilmington team. What do you expect to see from our girls?
I mean, what I'm expecting to see is just to continue from when we played Western Carolina over the break. We won 69-60 there, and just the team's just been playing solid. Coach Joe, I mean, I think she'll love having the kids there, and they're going to get very rowdy. Maybe a certain score will make the whole stadium erupt, and I think it's just going to kind of be a good test for them. You kind of had a little bit of an extended break from Thanksgiving just to really see you're playing a not bad team. We beat them last year as one of our first D1 wins for the women's team, but it's kind of a test for them to really see to get the gears going for them because they took an extra couple days off, and it can throw you off for a little bit.
Especially after like Thanksgiving. Sorry.
Go ahead.
You're good.
This team, especially because like our men's team is competing so well, and I feel like our women's team also competed so well last year, especially against these big name schools, which I mean, compared to like Georgia Tech, they only beat us by 38 points. And comparing that to like us just being able to just compete this year, I don't know. I feel like it's a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, this team has played phenomenal. We went to Georgia Tech and only lost by 8. That was a close game almost the entire time.
Yeah.
And that shocked me, but Coliseum, that might be the rowdiest the Coliseum's been since Super Tuesday a couple years ago.
Oh, my goodness.
And
reminisce.
It will definitely surpass that when a certain number is reached on the scoreboard. So it's going to be a great environment. I know the girls are going to go out there and show UNC Wilmington up, but yeah, I mean, they're playing great so far this year.
Both teams have proved us right in emphatic fashion.
Yes.
I mean, because we expected both teams to really take a big step forward, especially our women's team, and they've really done that. On our women's team, we have 5 girls averaging over 10 points a game.
That's amazing.
Asia Donald with almost 17. That's sitting at 16.8 points per game. Jasmine Jones, our marksman, lights-out three-point shooter out there, averaging 16 points a game exactly. Destiny Jones, 11.8 points per game. Grace O'Hara, our dog of a point guard, averaging 11 points a game. And then Sydney Tolbert also averaging 11 points a game. We have a very balanced attack. They play very strong defense, hard-nosed ball. Grace O'Gara at point guard be swinging the rock so crazy. I jam so many fingers catching passes from her. It's ridiculous. She's a dog at point guard, and she spreads the ball out well to the rest of the girls. This team is real deal, and we saw it last week, like you said, Schrader, against Georgia Tech. That game was close the entire time. We only lost by 8 points. The game was in reach. It just needed a few things to go our way to win it. But that right there just built so much confidence in our girls, and I really think we're going to see it bright and early Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. against UNC Wilmington. I think both of our teams are going to start off this week, our last week of classes here at West Georgia, and make statements against these two teams. Now, in order to stay tapped in with our West Georgia basketball team, obviously check us out on SportsBack. We'll be back on Thursday walking you through everything that happened in those games. But also, these games are live on ESPN+. Check out our men's team tonight, like I said, on the road against the Troy Trojans at 7 p.m. Then 11 a.m. also on ESPN+. Check out our girls team who are taking on UNC Wilmington. This is great basketball being played at West Georgia right now, and we're about to put the entire ASUN conference on notice. I can feel it in my bones. Now, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick ad break. But when we return, we're diving into what was an insane college football weekend, talking about the crazy coaching carousel, obviously started with the brother Lane Kiffin, and then giving our hot takes on who we think should be the last few teams in the college football playoff. Don't miss out. This is Sports Pack on Wolf Sports Network.
You are listening to Sports Pack Mondays and Thursdays from 6 to 7.
This season, everything changes. I'm the only one who came back, and honestly, I might regret it.
Josh Allen might just be the best athlete the NFL has ever seen.
Spencer Strider is an elite closer posing as an ace.
D Rose is the most overrated player of all time.
One vet, all new voices, hot takes, wild debates, and zero chill. Season 6 of Sports Out of Pocket debuts this fall, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Ian's freestyle went big. But we're gonna go bigger.
Dang, it's my first season. I feel like a star. I be dropping hot takes. I speak real bizarre. How many views we gonna get? I'd say about 1 mil. Out of Pocket Season 6. We got zero chill. Tune in to Season 6 of Sports Out of Pocket. Wednesdays at 6 on Wolf Sports Network.
Welcome to the Boring Sports Show, where we only bring the most boring sports takes.
Who are you? I am Hot Takes Man, and I defend the world from boring sports shows like yours. Another day's work for Hot Takes Man. Citizen, if you want to save yourself from boring sports content, then tune in to Sports Out of Pocket, Wednesdays from 6 to 7 on Wolf Sports Network.
Welcome aboard to Sports Out of Pocket Airlines, your nonstop flight to the highs and lows of the sports world. This is your Captain Jackson Vole speaking, and this is Flight Path, where we chart every climb and dive. Teams taking off to championship skies, and players hitting unexpected turbulence. Buckle up, sports fans, and fasten those seatbelts, because when the whistle blows, we're cleared for takeoff. Listen to Sports Out of Pocket every Wednesday at 6, only on Wolf Sports Network.
Join Dine West to celebrate friendship, gratitude, and community at Dine West's annual Thanksgiving meal. Enjoy with your family in the West Commons Dining Hall on Tuesday, November 18th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
That's fast, ain't it?
Yeah, that did pass. I had to rush into this ad read.
It was good, though.
But you can also add dining dollars or block meal plans at any time. Info on meal plans and deals can be found by visiting westgeorgia.edu/dinewest. Follow at UWG_Dine_West on Instagram.
Donate to our book drive as well.
Yeah. I need it bad. I did not read as a child.
At thewolfuwg.com/book drive. Help brothers like Schrader out.
Westwoods has a new resident pool and is now accepting all applicants. More information located at livewestwoods.com.
Baby, it's college football time. Give me my theme music.
Man, what a weekend. Obviously, it was rivalry weekend this past Saturday in college football. And as always, it was an amazing rivalry weekend slate. Iron Bowl came down to came down to the wire as always. Bunch of great games played as well. There was a crap fest in Atlanta on Friday, but we're not going to start off talking about that, believe it or not. We're going to start off talking about the coaching carousel, because despite the college football season not being even close to over yet, haven't even gotten to conference championship week, there are already people moving around. Kentucky just fired Mark Stoops earlier today.
Finally.
The Florida Gators have hired their new coach, bringing in John Summerall from Tulane. But the biggest news as of right now is LSU hiring now former Ole Miss coach Lane Kiffin. I know what you might be thinking. Well, isn't Ole Miss a playoff team? And yes, my friend, you are right. The Ole Miss Rebels are currently sitting at 11-1, slated for their lowest possible seed to probably be somewhere in the 7-8 range in the college football playoff this year. Their only loss coming to the Georgia Bulldogs, who will be playing in the SEC championship this coming Saturday. So it's sparked a lot of very interesting conversations, because due to the structure of the college football schedule, we have guys like Lane leaving their team in the midst of the season, Trader.
This is unreal, dude. I mean, this Lane Kiffin thing, for the first time in my life, I've been played by a man. I mean, Lane Kiffin.
All right.
I've been on the Lane train for years. I'm partial to Ole Miss. I love the program. I love what he built there. And he said in his recent documentary that he was a changed man, that how he handled everything at almost every other job was not right. He regretted what he did to Tennessee. He said that. And he says all these things to make us think, you know what? Maybe this guy's changed. Maybe he's someone we can trust. And what does he do? He leaves a program that he has taken to the highest place it's ever been during the season, about to make a playoff run, so that he could make a lateral move to LSU, and it's unreal. All he did was leave for money, and, dude, I can't. I was speechless.
Yeah, I got a love-hate relationship with it, because, like you said, due to the money, I understand it. But, I mean, you built that program from ground up to get to this point, and then you backstab them right before the playoffs. And now, due to that change, Ole Miss might not even get a playoff spot. We've seen that happen.
They'll
still
get one. They should still get one. I mean, because they did hire from within. They promoted their defensive coordinator,
Great hire.
Pete Golden. They promoted him to new head coach.
Okay.
The players seem to be responding to it well. Pete Golden will be coaching the Ole Miss Rebels in the playoffs.
Yeah, the one thing is as well with Lane, I mean, he's taken his OC with him to LSU, and I think, I mean, if I'm correct, that means the OC will not be able to coach in the college football playoffs, because they're doing the same thing to Lane. They're going to do the same thing to the OC.
Yes. It was a decision made by their athletic director to not let Lane or any other coaches that are joining the roster.
Joe Judge is the OC now. He's the interim. So
I mean, I don't.
They
think
also
it's,
promoted him from within as well, right?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't think it's the worst thing for Ole Miss to say, hey, you build all this up, and they're gonna stop Lane from doing it. But LSU has come out and said they're gonna pay Lane Kiffin for every college football playoff game that he would be in. So if he wins first game,
playoff bonus.
Yeah, it's playoff bonus. So we get $150,000 for the first game. Then each and every game increases by $250,000.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. Do I like it? Not really, but it's kind of a common theme with Lane. You can look at his coaching history.
I'm in the same boat as Schrader here. I don't really understand the move, only because it feels lateral. Yes, LSU in the past has historically been a bigger brand than Ole Miss, but what Lane Kiffin has done in his 6 years here is show that you can do this at Ole Miss. Mm-hmm. You can bring in the talent that you need to succeed. He's shown it over the past 2 years. I thought he had a national title team last year. They just got bit by the injury bug a little hard. But now they're sitting at 11-1. Had a very close nail biter to Georgia. They could easily be 12-0 if a few things go differently in that fourth quarter.
Yep.
So he's shown that you can bring in top-tier talent to Ole Miss. You can win and compete at the highest level. They're doing it right now. And obviously they have the donor support and buy-in as well, because they have
school.
They are SEC school. They have all the same media rights deals, and they're bringing in the money to compete and recruit at the highest level. It really feels like a lateral move to me. I don't really understand it. I hate the fact that it's happening. But the biggest thing that I hate here is the timing of it all.
Yes,
the college football schedule is flawed.
Yes.
There is no reason these moves should have to be made right now. If Lane Kiffin wants to take the job, sure. But this shouldn't be happening until after the season. And it's all because of recruiting. These programs want to have their new coaches in, like LSU with Lane Kiffin, like Florida with John Summerall. They want to have their new coaches in place now because National Signing Day is coming up in a couple weeks, and the transfer portal will also be opening in a few weeks. We already have players telling the media that they're intending on putting their names in the hats, and people need their coaching staff in place to bring these guys in. the portal window needs to be changed until after the college football playoff is over. And I know it's difficult because you have to get these kids enrolled on campus. All these things need to happen. But, that's when your athletic department starts pulling strings. Yeah. You have the power to do that and shift these windows. You need to make it to where it's more efficient, to where people can finish their seasons before they have to worry about where they're going to be playing ball next fall. It's unfair. It's a very flawed system. And some might say it's the NCAA's way of still creating some chaos. They take it or leave it, but this is currently what we're dealing with, and I hate the fact this is happening, but Lane Kiffin is the new coach at LSU. Excuse me. See, I can't even say it. He's the new coach at LSU.
I look at this hire, too. On LSU side of things, what in the world has Lane Kiffin actually won?
Nothing. Literally nothing. You've never been to an SEC championship as a head coach other than him being a coordinator. He has never been in a playoff game as a head coach. There's nothing. There's nothing to it to pay him $91 million, $13 million a year. It doesn't make sense, but LSU is willing to pay well over hundreds of millions of dollars over these several years because you're paying
bonuses.
You're also paying Brian Kelly $54 million.
Yeah, they're still paying Brian.
You're paying all this money. They're willing to do it. That's the thing. That's an office that's borrowed. It's not earned, it's not given. It's borrowed. Simple as that.
Yeah, I think it's a program that thinks they're all that. It's a program that thinks, no, we're better than all these guys. And they're a historic program.
Absolutely.
They've had a few good years, but it's been a while since they've been consistently something. They kind of go through waves. They're not like an Alabama or like a Georgia is now, where they're going to consistently contend and they are a brand. I think they're a brand that wants to be.
Yeah, I completely understand that. And like you said, it's yet to be seen. We haven't even seen Lane win as a head coach on the highest level. Yep. So it's a bold move on either way. It's bold for Lane to leave, and it's also bold for LSU to bring him in as well. It's going to be very interesting to see how the rest of this plays out. But as of right now, LSU has their new head coach in Lane Kiffin. Ole Miss has their new head coach in Pete Golden, who was promoted from Ole Miss's defensive coordinator to their new head man. Ryan Silverfield, the former Memphis head coach, is now heading to Fayetteville, Arkansas to coach the Razorbacks. And my favorite hire of the cycle so far, outside of the James Franklin of Virginia Tech, Alex Golish, the former USF head coach, will now be coaching football in the Plains for the Auburn Tigers. Massive hire for the Tigers.
I was going to say, they're gutting the AAC. Rest in peace to it. But I think it's really good. You've seen what Golish has done the past couple of years. You've seen the NFL talent he's produced within quarterbacks. I think it's really solid for Auburn. It means you can kind of keep some of these guys. They're going to retain their interim coach, it looks like. So you keep that guy there for morale boost. You're putting the pieces together now at a better time for Auburn, and it can be really good for him. And I think Golish as your head coach is what you've seen him do. Very smart hire, and props to Auburn.
Love this hire for a couple of reasons. One, the success that he's had at USF has been outstanding, and also he was able to turn a program that won like 4 games in 3 years.
Yep.
He got there, turned them into a team that people were looking at for a playoff bid.
Oh, yeah.
Is great. He can recruit, and he has SEC experience. He was Heupel's go-to guy for a couple of years. Outstanding hire by.
Yeah, and that's why I'm agree with this as well. Just like you alluded to, he has the experience in the SEC. He's won some things. He's turned a program around from ground up. So coming into this Auburn team, you have pieces to work with. You have players you have quarterbacks, you have receivers, you have the guys, you have the recruiting pipeline. So him coming into an SEC team like Auburn, he could really turn this program around because we've seen him do it before.
Yep.
So he has the pieces now. All he has to do is just plug them all together.
Exactly. It's going to be very exciting to watch Alex Golish coach in the Plains. But now that rivalry weekend is over, this upcoming Saturday is Conference Championship Saturday. A lot of big-time matchups. Big matchup in the Big Ten with the number 1 team in the nation, the Ohio State Buckeyes, taking on number 2 Alabama. Taking on number 2 Indiana.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of them names, brother.
Then in the Big 12, we have 5th-ranked Texas Tech taking on 11th-ranked BYU. In the SEC, we have 4th-ranked Georgia taking on number 10 Alabama in a rematch from the Week 4 matchup earlier this season. And in the ACC, we have 7-5 Duke taking on 18th-ranked 10-2 Virginia.
All my homies love Duke.
I want to fix in on this matchup for a second because this includes 2 playoff hopefuls in Duke and Virginia. Yes, because if Duke wins it, even at 7-5, they'll be 8-5 at that point. They will have a chance as a conference champion. But this brings me to borderline teams here. Virginia is currently sitting at 10-2. Utah is currently sitting at 10-2. Texas is at 9-3. Miami 10-2. Vanderbilt 10-2. BYU 11-1. Notre Dame 10-2. All these teams are playoff hopefuls. I want to hear from you guys. Keyshawn, I want to start with you. Which team out of the ones I named or another team do you think has the best chance of making the college football playoff, or do you think should make the college football playoff as a borderline team?
I'm gonna go with Vandy. Due to they're in the SEC, so this the strength of schedule is there. They play
18th ranked strength of schedule in the country.
There you go, and they've knocked off multiple ranked teams, top 25 teams.
Yep.
So I mean, they've played up to the standard. Diego Pavia has played to a Heisman level, at least to this point. So I mean, I don't see why not let Vandy get in there. They're 10-2 right now. They're honestly probably in my opinion, they're one of the strongest teams in the SEC, to say the least, for Vandy. So, I mean, I'm going to have to lean towards Vandy with this one.
To add on to Vandy a little bit, they have one of the more impressive wins in the country that just came this past Saturday on the road in Knoxville against a then 3-loss Tennessee team that was really fighting for a playoff spot. Vanderbilt went in there and beat them 45-24. Extremely
big
impressive.
Second half for the guys,
Extremely
too.
impressive.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with a team that Richard's really, and I mean really close with. I'm going to go with the BYU.
Love me a Mormon Cougar.
So the reason I'm going with BYU is right now they sit at 11-1. They're the 11th ranked team, but they're also out of the playoff picture, which I don't quite agree with.
It's interesting.
Being 11-1, Power 4 conference, Lord knows they have played a harder schedule than Notre Dame. And so I think that BYU should be in, even if they lose, right? We've been told the playoffs not going to get these conference championship losers. They're not going to punish them for losing this game because it's the conference championship, right? The schedule that they were handed, BYU has taken care of, all aside from one loss against who? Texas Tech, who they have a chance to redeem themselves this week against. But, yeah, I think BYU, I mean, they've played great. They've beaten the crap out of just about everybody they've beaten. So they look good. I think the Big 12 is going to be able to get them in.
The team I got here is the one team you're reading all the teams and you didn't mention it. I think it could be Oklahoma. I mean, look, you can look at them and say they are not, like, their team doesn't look like they can play in it. But if you look at their resume, I mean, you start off the year, you beat Michigan when they were 15, then you beat Auburn when they're ranked, surprisingly. But you know, you lose to Texas, but right now they're on the upwards trend. You lose to Ole Miss right now, who is also one of the top teams in the country. You beat Alabama, you beat ranked Missouri. Yes, you had a scuffle with LSU, but at that point they were like, we got the game done, we won.
Right.
I think with their resume, it could definitely, like we're talking about that strength of schedule and everything, can definitely lean towards that playoff. And they're trying to look at it. It's going to be really hard. I think Kirk Herbstreit said it's going to be the hardest year to decide. You know your conference championships, but the rest of that slate is going to be the hardest thing to decide this year ever in the history of the college football playoffs.
Yeah, slating the rest of those teams is going to be extremely difficult. That win against Alabama is huge for Oklahoma.
Absolutely.
On the road in Tuscaloosa, it's massive.
They just own Alabama now.
Oh, yeah, they've beaten them 2 years in a row. Brent Venables owns land in Tuscaloosa. I mean, it's just how it is. So I do think Oklahoma is safe. But if Oklahoma's safe, we also have to look at a team in Texas who a lot of people are arguing for. Yes, they're 9-3, but they have a 23-6 win against Oklahoma, and they just beat the then third-ranked Texas A&M Aggies 27-17, and was a very impressive win for the Longhorns. But in my so humble opinion,
too little, too late.
I agree. Too little, too late. They're a 3-loss team and have a very bad loss against Florida. And when you match them up against another team that's currently on the brink, the Miami Hurricanes, they're currently sitting at 10-2 with a win against Notre Dame, a team that a lot of people are just kind of penciling into this playoff. They beat Florida, the same Florida team that Texas got thrown out of the house against. Then they have a very impressive win against Pitt this past Saturday. This is a road game. This is a road game against what was a red-hot Pitt team coming off a massive win against Georgia Tech.
Heinzel was hurt. But
he was, but then again, they still beat this Pitt team 38-7. They got some style points at the end of it. When you look at Miami, they're currently sitting at 10-2. Massive win against Notre Dame early in the season that I feel like is propelling them up a lot. They beat the same Florida team that Texas lost to head-to-head. I think you have to lean Miami, but I'm also with Keyshawn here. If I had to pick one of these teams that's on the bubble, I want to see Vandy in it.
Yeah.
They have been incredible. The story's amazing. Diego Pavia has been incredible. I think he should be a Heisman finalist. And they have just rebuilt the brand of Vanderbilt Commodores football. They've made them must-see TV, and I think they should be in the playoffs.
Man, they didn't even rebuild it. They just straight up built it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Like, and Clark Lee ain't leaving, right? He's there for six more years.
New contract.
As well as Jared Curtis, the 5-star quarterback committed to Georgia. There's been some crystal balls that he might be going to Vanderbilt, which
Yep.
is huge. He'd be probably the biggest recruit they've ever gotten.
Yeah.
But to piggyback off that Miami thing, as much as it pains me to
Say it.
kind of side with him,
Yeah.
Miami should 100% be in the playoff. And honestly, I've said this many times. As long as Miami doesn't win the ACC championship, I don't care what else they do.
Right.
They've never won the ACC championship, and I think it's the funniest thing in the world.
They've never won it.
Never won the ACC championship.
would-
They've been
you
in it
think they
since
would.
2004. Never won the ACC championship, and since 2004, Bobby Bowden has more bowl wins than the University of Miami.
I had no idea.
That's crazy.
Bobby
So-
Bowden retired in 09.
So we'll see how this plays out the rest of the season. We have the college football selection show tomorrow. We'll kind of see where the committee is standing before this Saturday's slate. I'm very interested in watching BYU. John, so let me go ahead and speed this up because we've gone over on time. I understand that. But this BYU Texas Tech game is very interesting because BYU's 11-1. Texas Tech is a great team. We all know it. So if they lose to Texas Tech twice and end up being 11-2, I'm very interested to see where BYU gets slated because they're currently sitting at 11. But we do have to move on to general sports. We'll talk more about this on Thursday. It's been a very interesting NBA season so far, and it's really started off very strong for the Atlanta Hawks, who are currently sitting at 13-8, currently towards the middle of the pack in the Eastern Conference, but they are a very tough out for every single team they play against. I want to go back in time a little bit to, what was it, last night? Was the game last night or the day before?
I think it was last night.
I think-
Twins were texting about it.
Matter of fact, you're right. It was last night because it was an incredible double overtime thriller against the Philadelphia 76ers where the Atlanta Hawks won 142-134. And like I said, double OT. And in that game, we saw an incredible performance from the now star of the Atlanta Hawks, Jalen Johnson. He had 41 points, 14 rebounds, and 7 assists. Jalen Johnson has been incredible for this Hawks team, and John, I think he might just be the future.
Yeah. The one thing I think of is the second time I was on air ever for Sports Pack, I said Trae Young. And you know what? We might as well do it now because we see what happens when he's not there. I mean, don't get me wrong, Trae Young is a great basketball player, but honestly, the capital we can get out of him right now and ship him off, get it done. Get it done, and the future's brighter for us for the first time in, forever?
Yeah, I'm at the agree. I mean, Jalen Johnson showed up big time, had a double-double last game. I agree with John. I mean, at this point, we have to start looking to trade Trae Young because, I mean, we're winning without him. When he was playing early in the season, we couldn't seem to get it going. But now that he's out, we have our guy. We know what we have in our young talent. I say, why not trade Trae Young? He's still kind of young. He's still valuable. You still get some capital off of him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hey, why not try to ship him off or at least –
we talked about this before.
At least be open. At least be open into the trade discussion. See what all you get. If you like an offer, ship him out. If not, keep him. Work him back into the rotation. You know, try to see how he flows throughout the rest of the season. But right now, Trae Young is on the bubble.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think the smartest thing to do with Trae Young is you're doing so great without him, but we know the player he is. So let's see how good y'all can do with him.
Yeah.
See if you can get better. If you don't, or if he's just not really working out the way you want him, listen to some offers, but you also have to take into account, I don't know how much of a factor this is in the NBA anymore, but what he means to the franchise.
True.
I feel like
they built it
Trae
around
Young
him for a while.
might be the kind of player that it's going to be hard for the Hawks to just ship off. Right? He's meant so much. He's played so hard. He took you guys on a great run in the playoffs a few years ago. You were, 2 games from the finals?
True.
He's an outstanding player. He means a lot to the franchise. But I'd plug him into the lineup, see if you can do better because, he's one of the best players in the NBA.
Yeah,
and I think the last things the Hawks want to do is ship him off. And then what you have here with this young core kind of gets a little cold. He goes somewhere else and balls out. You don't want that to happen. But honestly, plug him in for a little bit, see how he does, and then go from there.
That's a very good point, Schrader. We still have 2 years, including this season, still on his contract. This year he's going to make $46 million, and next year he has the option for a $49 million player option. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. Man, I wish I could hoop. But but like you said, Schrader, when you really sit back and look at it, this young core has been playing great without him. I'm with you. I think we should plug him back in and kind of see how it looks with Trae Young in it. And like you said, if it doesn't really work, if him being back in the equation kind of throws everything off, then okay, boom. Trae Young is still a great player in the NBA, one of the better point guards in the league, a great shooter and facilitator. Ship him off to one of these teams that's trying to get over the hump, see if we can get a king's ransom for him, and continue to build for the future. Because right now we have 2 first-round picks for this upcoming cycle, including that of the Pelicans, which might end up being the number 1 overall pick. That could be incredible.
Not complaining.
And then maybe a few more complementary pieces as well. That could lead to being able to build this team around Zachary and Jalen Johnson and Dyson Daniels for the future, bringing in more and more pieces, and maybe being able to compete with Oklahoma City Thunder a little bit with a whole lot of draft capital and complementary guys from the Trae Young
Clippers
trade.
pick this year, by the way.
Dude, the Thunder are ridiculous.
They
James Harden.
They could have the first pick in the draft
They
this
could.
year.
James Harden is doing everything in his power to stop that from happening, but I don't think it's going to work.
His arthritis is going to catch up to him.
Dude, he's been playing out of his
I
mind.
know.
Though. There was a 5-game stretch where he was just about averaging a 30-point triple-double. James Harden has
That's
been having
wild.
an incredible season. But like I said, the Clippers are so bad, nobody's really paying attention except for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, looking ahead to tonight's matchup, the Hawks are going on the road to Detroit to take on the red-hot Pistons, who are currently sitting with the second-best record in the NBA at 16-4, and they are 7-2 at home. Cade Cunningham, we saw glimpses of it last year, but this year he's really cementing it. He is turning into a superstar in front of our very eyes, and he has that complementary weapon with Jalen Duren, the big man down low balling as well. Shout out my roommate, Zach. He talks about the Pistons nonstop. I like Cade Cunningham, but he kind of makes me sick every now and again because of Zach. But nonetheless, it's going to be a tough matchup for the Hawks, and I cannot wait to see it tonight at 7 Eastern time. Now, before we go to break, let me remind you one more time that Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network are proud to boost literacy rates with our pre-K book drive.
We need it.
Listen up, Schrader.
Yep.
Our ongoing book drive will provide a new or gently used book to every child at UWG's Pre-K Monthly. Give today by visiting thewolfuwg.com/book drive. Together, Wolf Radio and Wolf Sports Network will make a brighter future. That is thewolfuwg.com/book drive. And also, I'd be remiss if I did not mention, earlier in the show I mentioned the fact that we were that if you want to stay tapped in with our Wolves basketball teams this week, check them out on ESPN+. But you could also listen live Wednesday at 11 right here on Wolf Sports Network. Go to our website, Wolf Sports Network. Click the link in the top left-hand corner to listen live to our play-by-play broadcast with Brandon Dyer and Jackson Voles inside the Coliseum. They will be live providing play-by-play and color commentary for the game. You don't want to miss it. They'll be starting at 10:30 in the morning with a pregame show, 11 a.m. for the actual game, and then a 30-minute post-game show as well. Don't miss out, only on Wolf Sports Network. Now, we'll be right back. Stay tuned. We're going to dive into the NFL and make our Monday Night Football picks.
Hey y'all, it's Schrader. Now don't go anywhere because you're listening to Sports Pack here on Wolf Sports Network. The Wolves play here.
Cross them up, cross them up. Live from Carrollton, Georgia, the city of dreams. We got you covered with the men's and women's basketball teams. Shooting a three, make it with ease, crossing you up, now you on a meme. And then they popped out and did it again like Baby Keem. Tune in 1 hour before tip-off of select home games this season for the West Georgia Wolves basketball teams. For the full list of live coverage, visit wolfsportsnetwork.com. Wolf Sports Network from inside the Coliseum.
If you are anything like me, then you wait until the absolute last minute to go and do all your Christmas shopping. But if you have that same problem, Wolf Sports Network has you covered. A wide variety of clothing for men and women presented by Ozier Apparel. Men and women's polos, shirts, hats, beanies, joggers, and we even have a baseball jersey for that baseball fan in your life. Visit our merch store online at wolfsportsnetwork.com and click About. Don't be stuck giving out a lame gift this holiday season. Give your loved ones the best gift of all. Wolf Sports Network merch only at wolfsportsnetwork.com.
WSN, Wolf Sports Network, will have you covered this West Georgia basketball season with Inside the Coliseum, our 30-minute pregame show that will start 1 hour before select home games.
But we saw his ability to make those tough shots. He is a shooter, and he was second in scoring behind Shelton Williams-Dryden.
I think we just need to get everybody the ball as much as possible. I think we need to throw the rock around.
Join us as we cover both the men's and women's basketball seasons from inside the Coliseum.
Us here at Wolf Sports Network are proud to bring you the best in live shows.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Sports Out of Pocket.
Play-by-play.
And that's going to be the
and the biggest hits in music 24 hours, 7 days a week, only on WSN Wolf Sports Network.
In the NFL, only one thing matters: chasing a dynasty.
All right, guys, we're back. Starting off the NFL segment as we have every day this season with the Atlanta Falcons.
How about them?
Who are currently sitting at
Rise
4-8 after an embarrassing 24-27 loss to the now 3-9 New York Jets on a last-second field goal by the ever-ageless Nick Folk. John, I want to start with you here. Give a quick reaction to this game. Bijan Robinson had a great game, by the way. 192 all-purpose yards, 23 carries, touchdown. He was incredible, but once again, it was not enough. So, John, walk us through what went down here.
What went down was we suck. That's as much as I can give you. I'm sorry, Richard. The tank's empty. You heard me throwing up over here. I don't know what's worse, me and this Falcon season or me cramping last year on Sports Pack. It's about the same, all right? It's simple as that.
And you know what? That's valid.
That was a bad cramp.
Seriously.
It was.
And, you know, I think that's a great way to pivot into our next topic on the same game. Schrader, when looking at this Falcons team, you haven't hesitated to explain to me how much of a failure it's been. And honestly, I accept it. It's been terrible. Yeah. I drank the Falcons Kool-Aid earlier this season, and you know what? I shouldn't have. I admit it. I shouldn't have. But God forbid a fan have hope.
God forbid.
But now that we're looking at this mess that Raheem Morris and Zach Robinson and the crew have made, Schrader, what steps need to be taken in order to clean it?
Front office needs to be wiped. I'm talking Fontenot needs to go, which I have been saying for quite a while, because it took how many years for the Falcons to get an edge rusher? That was like the one thing they needed forever, and he just never did it. I'm not fond of the Penix pick. I've expressed that before as well. The Kirk Cousins signing definitely hasn't aged well. Fontenot just hasn't done good. Yeah. He hasn't been a great GM whatsoever, hasn't drafted well up until, I mean, he had a pretty good draft this year, but now you don't have a first-round pick to capitalize off this season.
Literally.
So, but, you need to clean the front office. You need to clean the coaching staff. And honestly, if I'm the Falcons, I might trade some guys. I don't think the window's open. I think the window's closed. I think it was one of those screens that every once in a while you get it the right angle, doesn't look like it's there, and you kind of just boom right into it. I think some guys there needs to be movement, right? You told me the Dolphins needed to just clean house earlier in the season, and I agreed with you. But now I'm looking at it going, hey, we have a good roster, and fire the GM, everything's working. And maybe the same thing happens with the Falcons and firing Fontenot, but this coaching staff's not good. Zach Robinson's a bad offensive coordinator.
Oh, hey, we know it.
Yeah, there's no maybe. Fontenot needs to be fired because, like you said, edge rushers has been the top priority for the Falcons for forever. Now that we finally have the defense to step up, we have no offense now.
Yeah.
So it's like, we just can never get it right. It's always one's good and one's bad. It's never, okay, we're both good, we're a contender. It's not that. It hasn't been that for years. So, I mean, honestly, they just need to clean house. Yeah. Everything up top. The players are good. We have the talent. So, I mean, at this point.
A lot of it's injured.
A lot of it's injured. And now.
That's why you need depth.
Exactly. That's why you need depth. And that's why Terry Fontenot needs to be fired, because where is our depth? We don't have any. Once a player goes down, it's like, okay, we don't have nothing else, which is why the Falcons are 4-8 now. Because, I mean, Kirk Cousins, that contract, terrible. That played out.
In hindsight, it looked good. Did it play out well? No, absolutely
it did not. Play out well.
I don't think you said that right, John. I don't think in hindsight it looked good.
Talking about when we signed him.
At the time.
When we signed him.
No, he's saying hindsight would be now.
No, you're right.
In hindsight, it looks terrible. But at the moment, it might have looked okay.
Yeah. Right. At the moment, it looked great. I mean, yeah, you got Kirk Cousins. He's a veteran. We know we got it. But then you drafted Michael Penix. That kind of threw me off a bit as well. So, I mean, I don't really – I'm not sure what Terry Fontenot did or is doing, but he has to go.
Yeah, and you can look at Fontenot, right? If you're going to draft a quarterback where he did, I think Penix is a great culture fit. I think he has a lot of potential. But there's the injury bug that he carries, which we've talked about. And also, it just seems off this year. He doesn't seem like he was worth the 8th pick, which it took a little bit for y'all to get into the top 10 for a picks. But Bo Nix was at 12. And even if you wanted to go the route of, hey, maybe you trade Kyle Pitts for some draft capital, Brock Bowers was sitting at 13.
Yeah.
There were definitely other picks Fontenot could have made that would have impacted this team in a much better way. Just hasn't done a good job.
I do agree with you, Schrader, and you're right. Things need to be changed, starting off in the front office. Terry Fontenot, general manager, it's been a run. I'm not going to say a great run. It's definitely been a run.
It's been a crawl.
It's time for you're right. It's time for him to go. Zach Robinson, offensive coordinator, it's time to go. I've been on board of giving Raheem Morris one more year just to give it a shot. Yeah. A lot of people are screaming for his job now. I'm pretty indifferent. I say move off Terry and Zach Robinson first. Bring in a nuanced offensive coordinator. Maybe
he's a coordinator. Coach.
Brandon's gonna hate this. How about Buster Faulkner from Georgia Tech, the offensive coordinator? I'd love to have him in Atlanta.
He can call an offense. Yeah, he's shaking his head no like crazy.
The offense didn't look great against Georgia.
It didn't, but that NFL phone rings. We'll see what happens. But we just need nuance at the offensive coordinator position, and we're not getting that from Zach Robinson.
Yep.
But Schrader, you're gonna like this. You were right, 100%. The injury bug has caught up with Michael Penix Jr.
I can't read, but I can speak a little bit.
You know, you got it.
That's the way to put it right there.
He's going to be out for the entirety of next season. Let's be real. He partially tore ACL that was already torn once. The odds of him coming back stronger from that are slim to none. He's going to be out all of next season. I think now is the time to, like you said, maximize what we can get for what we have now. Yeah. It's time to ship off Kirk Cousins, try to be rid of his contract. If you can, ship him off to the highest bidder. Maybe move off Kyle Pitts if a team is interested, just to get more draft capital. I don't expect a first-round pick from either of those guys by any stretch, but just to build up second, third, and fourth-round draft capital in this cycle, and then double down, get receivers, get depth at receiver, depth at corner, the positions that we need because edge rusher is young. We have it now. And
defense is great.
I want to pitch something here. You trade off these guys, get second or third-round pick for Kirk Cousins, second or third-round pick for Kyle Pitts, send him off to Kansas City or somewhere like that that can really help rejuvenate his career. Get your receiver and DB depth with that. The big story in the NFL the past 2 seasons, and especially like the first 8 or so weeks of this season before the Colts were on a downward spiral like right now, was quarterbacks needing a change of scenery. Last year we saw it with Sam Darnold. Played great for Minnesota, got them 14-2, is currently destroying records with Jack Smith and Jigba in Seattle. Same thing with Daniel Jones. I call him Indiana Jones now in Indianapolis with the Colts. He's a little banged up right now. I heard he has a chipped bone somewhere in his leg.
He's playing with a fractured fibula, whatever that.
Also, it's fractured.
Whatever the big bone in your leg is fractured.
Fibula.
Yeah, he's a little banged up right now, but the big story has been how a change of scenery was perfect for him. I think it's time for the Falcons to do the same. Send off Kirk. Michael Penix is out for the year. Go grab Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is former first overall pick, extremely talented, one of the greatest
contract though.
Heisman winner, does have a big contract, yes, was one of the greatest high school quarterbacks we've ever seen. But we're not talking about high school right now. He's been solid in the NFL as well, but the infrastructure in Arizona has never quite been there. The buy-in has never quite been there. His best years when he had DeAndre Hopkins and Larry Fitzgerald, and he was incredible. But then after that, tore his ACL. Then recently hasn't really had much to work with, openly been at odds with the coaching staff. I think it's time for a change of scenery. Go out and get Kyler Murray. Bring him into Atlanta. You still have Bijan, what can be a dominant run game with the right offensive coordinator. I'm assuming you go out and draft some receivers in the second and third round this cycle, so we have people, route runners preferably, around Darnell Mooney and Drake London, and look to build around this new core. See what bringing in Kyler Murray on a one-year deal might do, because I think his contract expires this year in Arizona.
It does.
Bring him in and just see if it's able to work. We've seen it with these past few years with these other teams, with Sam Darnold and with Daniel Jones. If the Kyler Murray experiment works, perfect, move forward with him. Sign him to like a 3-year deal, move forward with him. If not, you still have Penix coming back. But I think Kyler Murray, bringing him in, or maybe even a Mac Jones, give you the best chance of still having moderate success next season with the young talent that we still have on this roster.
I do think it's going to be hard for the Falcons to find a quarterback, especially if you say, right, Kyler Murray in Arizona, he hasn't really have a team that's all the way bought in. If I'm a quarterback looking on the market, and one of my biggest factors is teams that's going to buy into me, the Falcons are probably the last on that list because of how they treated Kirk Cousins. Right? They signed Kirk Cousins to a huge deal, one of the largest deals in team history, and immediately draft a quarterback. I think it can be rough. There's going to be a lot of front office turnover, but I do like the idea. I do think they're a great destination for a guy like Mac Jones, Kyler Murray, and with the second and third round picks that they have, that's a great position to be in when you need skill position players, when you need solid receivers. They kind of fall. They trickle down there. So honestly, that the only hole that I would find in that is if the Falcons are an organization that will truly show somebody they will buy in.
And honestly, I do think that's fair.
The one thing that I'm thinking about as well is that like coming up with next year is there'll be more favorable room to trade Kirk Cousins because we free up over $20 million of cap space from paying him. Yeah. So a lot of teams are going to be willing, depending on what scenario. If you maybe look at a Joe Burrow, Cincinnati, and you need that veteran quarterback. Well, they took Flacco. Some teams are going to look at it that way, and maybe we can go get something from Kirk right there, right as the offseason hits. It just hurts us not having that first-round pick.
Yeah, that really hurts. And I've stretched that the entire season, honestly. I mean, that first-round pick, y'all really needed that, especially looking at where y'all are at now at this season, being 4-8. Y'all needed that first-round pick because, I mean, you could
we need it.
You need depth. You need receiver play. You need DB play. I mean, at this point, you're looking at quarterback play now with Penix being out. And like Richard said, he might be out for next season too. So by the time he comes back, he's 27. So, I mean, you don't really know what you have left of Michael Penix. So, I mean,
the same age as Kyler Murray.
There you go. Exactly. So,
and you look at it this way. Let's say you send off Kirk Cousins, you get whatever for him. Your starting QB is Easton Stick.
Like
North Dakota State legend, FCS baller.
Yeah, Easton's. I mean, he's had some starts before with the Chargers, but that's your starting quarterback right there, Easton Stick. And it's
stick it to him, baby.
Yeah, I'm about to say. So that's the scenario we're in right now.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the cap space right now. The Falcons are just under $3 million in cap. So I mean, trying to sign a quarterback in free agency doesn't look favorable for the Falcons as of right now. So I mean, yeah, they have to make some space and release and trade a couple of guys. But I mean, right now, Falcons organization is not looking pretty.
No. Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see how this shakes out. I do think freeing up some space, like you said, getting a little bit more cap room, going out and getting one of these veteran guys like Kyler Murray or Mac Jones could end up being the long-term answer. But there are other things that need to be done first in order to make sure these guys can come in and have success. Now it's time for our Monday Night Football picks. But before we make those picks, John, please remind the people of our policy. SportsPack and Wolf Sports Network are not liable for any financial losses that may occur due to using our picks outside of the show. These are just our opinions. Don't blame us. Blame the players. Now that we've crossed our T's and dotted our I's, we have a classic matchup in the NFL this Monday night with the 2-10, but very entertaining, New York Giants going on the road to take on the 10-2 New England Patriots, who are the winners of 9 straight games. Now, don't sleep on this Giants team, though. They have been very entertaining week in and week out, had a few very close matchups these past few weeks, close loss to the 49ers, close loss to the Bears, close loss to the Packers, and an extremely close overtime loss to the Detroit Lions last week. So when looking at this Giants team, yeah, their record is bad, but they are very talented and take a lot of really good teams to the wire. And New England is very banged up going into today's matchup. So, Keyshawn, I want to start with you. Do the Patriots get their 10th straight win, or do the Giants have an upset brewing in Foxborough?
The Patriots get their 10th straight win. No need to sugarcoat it. They are the best team in the NFL right now. I stand on that. They have played exceptionally well. Everybody has played above the standard. They've been the most consistent team all year. Drake May, you just give him MVP right now. He's playing out of his mind right now.
You're saying a lot.
No, I'm not. Drake May is playing like a top 3 quarterback right now. Today, not overall, but as of right now, Drake May is playing as a top 3 quarterback. Statistically, yes. But, I mean, Patriots, everything's been cooking over there. They've looking like they've revamped the dynasty. We might have a new dynasty in New England again. So, I mean, I'm leaning towards the Patriots with that one.
That was a lot of bold takes in there. You said they were the best team in football.
They are.
Look, we do hot takes on the show.
You're right, but, man, those are pretty hot.
Well, buckle up, boys, because here's what's going to happen tonight. Every year, there's a certain man on the New York Giants that has a game. He's the new wide receiver 1 of the New York Giants, Jameis freaking Winston.
Before you go, hold on. Before you go, I have to tell you, Jackson Dart is starting tonight.
I know. That's why I said wide receiver 1. Okay. Buddy. I don't think you watched that Detroit game. If you're going to have to correct me here.
I saw
he had one of the greatest catch runs
Wildcats.
I've ever seen. The crab leg legend, Jameis Winston, is going to come out of who knows where, and he's going to lead these New York Giants in any way. He could be the kicker and nail a game-winning field goal. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it because he gets to play football. He's going to go into Foxborough. The New York Giants are finally going to get that elusive, close win against a superior opponent.
I just say one man's name, Drake May.
I'm gonna back up Schrader here. I think the Giants.
Let's go.
I mean, at the end of the day, it becomes a game of averages. The Patriots are on a 9-game win streak. A lot of these games are very close, including the overtime win against the Falcons. Like you said, they're due, and I think they get their comeuppance this week because it's the Giants team that's also due. They've had close loss after close loss, week in, week out. Played the game of their lives last weekend against Detroit. Still lost that game in OT. I think it's going to find a way to be a very entertaining game.
Brian Burns, too.
Brian Burns. The Patriots' offensive line is very, very banged up. Their center is currently questionable. That's like their backup center is actually who's questionable. Their starting center is out.
He's dead.
Will Campbell, their starting left tackle, is out. They're really banged up along the offensive line. They've given up a lot of sacks week in and week out. Gave up 5 to the Atlanta Falcons a few weeks ago. The Giants have a very young and talented pass rush led by Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau and Abdul Carter, their first-round pick from this past year. I think they're going to get after Drake May.
Thibodeau's out.
Disrupt them. Oh, no Thibodeau. But the pass rush is still pretty solid. Brandon's laughing behind the glass. Still, solid pass rush. Banged up Patriots team. I'm going with the Giants here, and what's probably going to be a very entertaining Monday Night Football matchup. Give me the Giants to win this one on the road in Foxborough and give Patriots fans more and more reason to continue to hate the New York Giants. Now, that is all the time we have for Sports Pack tonight. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Our last show of the semester will be this Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel. Please tune in as we celebrate John's final episode of Sports Pack this Thursday. It's going to be great. We're going to give him a great send-off. It's going to be a lot of fun as we make our way into finals week and Christmas break. And John makes his way into greener pastures as he moves on to his next endeavor.
Sending him to the farm.
Send him to the farm.
Please no.
Upstate.
Don't send me to the farm.
For my dog win, he loves it there.
So if you want to see,
come back?
If you want to see John send off as he goes to join Schrader's dog upstate, tune in this Thursday at 6 p.m. right here on Wolf Sports Network. This is Sports Pack. We'll see you there.